Good afternoon, it's a cozy Saturday, and welcome to the 10th episode of the app breakdown. Today we're taking a look at an app called Joy, Daily Planner and Organizer. And the reason we're looking at this app is that it's a extremely simple app. By now you've probably realized that I like simple apps, and is done with a lot of care. So it's done by a single developer and designer, I believe. I believe this is a solo project by Alexei. I don't know how to pronounce his name, sorry. But it is a very cool project. So let's open it up. You'll see straight away the design language is it's basically Apple, but way simpler in the sense that he cares about the little details. He doesn't add fluff to it. The design is completely flat, and there's a lot of breathing room. In a way, it's comparable to the app Abode that we've looked a few episodes ago, where the app just feels light. It's almost like the phone is lighter. So let's see here. On the home screen, we have the indication that it's Saturday today. The little red dot indicates that it's the day that we're on, the December 20th, 2025. And then below, we have the calendar and the things that I have laid out for today. So this is basically a calendar in a day view. And at the bottom, we have 3 buttons. We're going to explore them later. And right off the bat, I just want to emphasize basically how clean this layout is, how light it feels, how well the typography blends, the different types blend with each other. Like, it's just very well balanced, this screen. So let's tap here on Saturday, see if it does something. Okay, it does nothing. It's just an indication of the day. Then on top right, let's tap on December 20th. This brings up a little modal with the calendar. It's a pretty standard Apple calendar. There's a weird effect here at the bottom of the model. I'm not sure if this is intentional or it should stop here. My guess is just a little bug. So let's close that. And then below these top 2 elements, we have just the days, where you can just tap to go through the day view of your calendar. And below we have basically the to-do list / events / what's about to happen. And I'm going to explore this a bit more in depth later. First, let's go to the buttons at the bottom. So let's tap on the bottom left button here. This brings up the settings. These settings remind me actually of Halid from episode 9 and Kino from 10. And oh, nice blur at the top here. Look how the banner pops out a lot, and then it just sort of blends into the top section here. It's very beautiful. Okay, blurs aside, we have very simple sections here. We have display name, Apple Calendar, which is the connection that I have here, connection to more calendars, pro features. Let's tap on one of the pro features to see the paywall. Okay, so this is app icons, and now paywall. Okay, in the same language, the paywall, extremely simple. I was expecting something a bit more flashy, just because paywalls usually make everything just stand out. They want you to look at it and say, hey, it's a paywall. So let's go back, or actually let's come back in and take a look at the modals. So here we have side navigation inside the modal. Not sure you noticed this. So I click change icon, and the modal comes from the left. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of basically pagination within modals. I think it looks a bit clunky. I prefer when it's more modals on top of modals, provided that it's not infinite. Simply because now, for example, I cannot swipe to actually go back to the page where I was before. And anyway, if I tap on these, a new modal comes up. So it might as well just be modals. Okay, but let's go back here, tap on notifications, see what that is. It's just paywall. Okay, and close the settings. So very clean, great banner on the settings, and then the modal navigation inside. And then at the bottom center, we have the plus button. So we're gonna click that. On the top, we have a basically selector. We can choose if we're doing a habit, a task, or an event. And then the editable parts at the bottom change based on that. I'm not sure why this is a full screen modal when it could probably be like a half sheet modal, but maybe it needs to be this big. I guess it's because of the calendar. but then we could just push the half sheet up. I don't know, feels like could be a half sheet. Anyway, let's do a test event. Today we're gonna add the time. Oh, this is a very nice interaction. Add time. So we have this little modal on top of the panel that doesn't quite reach the sides. Very beautiful. Extends very well, well thought out. And then we have a selector for time here with a gorgeous times animation. This looks like the same animation that Opal uses on their selectors. I think we did this on episode 1 or 2. So we can select here. Let's do so that it is now. So 520, and then again, great animation for beginning and end. I'm not sure it's the best UI for first use intuitiveness, because I'm not sure if I would have tapped 1930 straight away, but once you get it, it's very satisfying. Notice how also the title changes. So the title now says choose start time. When you tap it, the start kind of rolls to end. It's a very cool detail. Beautiful. I like when little details make me smile. It's a good sign. Okay, let's hit save, add calendars. Let's tap here my blurred calendar, save, make recurring. We want to do this. Okay, let's actually not do it recurring. Oh, there's a little, the button at the bottom, the save one, has a weird shadow behind it. I'm guessing this is also a bug because the button should just be floating like it is elsewhere. But it might just be a stylistic choice, albeit a weird one. Okay, let's go back. I don't want to add location, so let's click add. So when we tap add, we see it's here on the test event. It has a little icon calendar at the left, and on the right it has the start time. So there's no end time on this view, which is an interesting choice. And I love the little lines with the dots. Like they feel, let me screenshot this and actually zoom in to see. They feel very balanced, and they kind of feel rounded if you look from afar, but they're actually just squares. Interesting. I thought they would be rounded. So let's delete the screenshot and tap into the test event. See what it looks like. Once again, very well balanced, very clean menu. We have the basically action row at the top. Mark as complete, edit or delete. Let's hit edit. Takes us back to the previous view. Then here we have the start time and end time. These two kind of look like switches. So I tried to tap them intuitively, but they don't do anything. It's just like beginning and end. I guess another design for these could be better so that they don't look so tappable. And then we have here the hours of the day at the bottom. So for example, we have nothing from hour 0 to hour 16, and then 17 and 18. I'm trying to understand what the height is. I think the height is basically how busy you were during those hours. So the blue hours mark where this event is happening. It also says at the bottom that the event is happening now. But I think the 15 and 16 are also marked because I have an event here called record app breakdown, which happened in these 2 hours. So it probably represents basically how busy you were during the day. And then here at the bottom says 2 hours ago. I also like how everything on the screen is crossed out so that basically there's no doubt that you've gone through this, you've done it. So let's go back in and try to mark as complete. Okay, it just closes and crosses it out. And then if I click on the write-in journal, we have a half sheet with a lot of space here. This is actually something that I'm noticing that the designer did on a lot of screens. There's a lot of space in the middle between actions and titles and just titles and everything else. It's a bit questionable, but it's definitely a style. Okay, so we have a half sheet, then we can mark it as done. Let's try going into another page and go, for example, here on Christmas Eve. See what we have here. So we have the little asterisk, the little star. Maybe that means it's an all-day event, because you can see it's all marked here. Test event, write-in journal. Let's click test event. And then let's try adding a habit. Test habit. I'm very bad at writing. Test habitat. Yeah, let's do that. And let's do weekly on Saturday. Save and add. Oh, weird glitch here. Okay. Whoa. Okay. So if we now go to Saturday, oh, the app seems to have crashed. Interesting. I'll close it. Okay, this happens. It's fine. Go. Okay, Saturday, now we have our test habitat. And it's just something, basically it's just a task that's going to be repeated on every Saturday. So let's actually remove it. Yes. Hopefully it removed it from every Saturday. It did. And now we go here. And something else that you might have noticed is at the bottom right, when I switched from this week to the week after, the button switches from a calendar icon to an arrow icon. So we have the calendar here. If I tap the calendar, the standard Apple calendar comes up. If I go to the right to another week, the button makes me go back to today. So it's basically a recenter, reposition, take me to my day button. Now, something that is completely hidden, and I'm not sure if they show it on the onboarding or not, because I've done the onboarding a long time ago, is that on the main screen, if you swipe down, there's a very nice animation here. There's a very nice interaction, which is a summary of your day. So in this case, good evening, you have nothing left today. Amazing. So let's try adding cat walk. So today I have cat walk. And now if I swipe down, good evening, you have one task left today. And I really love this interaction for a few reasons. First, it's completely hidden away. You only access it if you want to, which is great for power users, but terrible for new users. So there's a balance here. Second, there's a little haptic confirmation haptic when you swipe down. And third, if you notice at the buttons at the bottom, they come in very nicely and lower just a tiny bit. So I'm gonna do this again. If I release it, the buttons go down just a tiny bit and are together there. So it's just a great interaction. And the speed at which the text comes down is also slightly different from the speed at which the panel comes down. So it creates a bit of a parallax effect, which is very enjoyable to me. I feel like a video on Twitter of this interaction is what made me download the app, and then I just kept it. Let's see what else we have to see here. Oh, Theo's birthday is tomorrow. If you're seeing this, happy birthday, Theo. Okay, so let's click here on the settings, see if there's something we want to see. We have wake up and wind down. Not sure what that is. Let's turn on wake up at 9 a.m. Oh, it just marks the wake up. Let's also mark the wind down and see how those look. So if I click on wake up, oh, there's nothing actually. I cannot click it. Interesting. Since every element here is clickable, I would expect to be able to click it, to be honest. At least show like a little half sheet that lets me edit the time of wind down or lets me add something to the wind down. I don't know. Feels like it should be tappable since everything else is tappable. Here we have an event with someone else. So it's my blurred email with someone else's blurred email, and we have 6 hours left until this event. Okay, let's try here removing the wake up and wind down. Whoop. Okay. And the beautiful thing is, I've only been recording for basically 10 minutes and there's nothing else to see. And you have a perfectly functional, extremely beautiful calendar app, reminder app, all of that. So basically the only reason I don't use this as my daily driver to-do list is that my to-do list is a text file where I just send messages to myself. But I love these kinds of personal projects, one-man shows. I really believe this is a one-man show. One-man shows where they do something that they care about. There's craft, it's beautiful, and people like us get to enjoy and learn from it. Let's do this animation once more. And if you try to do this daily summary on the day that is not today, you go into the paywall. All right, so we've seen great interactions. We've seen well-balanced screens. We have seen great animations and transitions at the bottom of the page. And this is going to be all for today. Thank you for tuning in to the 10th episode of the App Breakdown, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.